participating in our festival. Thank you for being our opening lineup. Thank you for the power of your film and the ways you bridged us to our history. It is so amazing, the global nature of the work that you've woven together. And we were just so honored to get to show it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was really a great pleasure to be able to show the documentary in San Francisco, because the city is very important. It's very important to me, but it's not that important. But the city is so important for all of us, all the LGBT plus communities all over the world. So it was really, really great to be able to screen it there and to show it to my friends in San Francisco as well.
It was stunning and beautiful, and the weave between San Francisco and New York, and you're beautiful. Like, we got a whole sense of how the movement reflects and interplays and calls us all to these places. And now there's more than one.
It was very moving, actually. Sorry to interrupt.
No.
That was very moving when I made the interviews all over the world to realize that all these people were living exactly the same struggle in the same time, but they didn't know it. And you could be in Amsterdam, in Paris, in San Francisco, in New York, or of course elsewhere, and you would fight against the same people for the same ideas, for the same freedom, but you wouldn't know that at the same time someone else was doing it. And of course now we can't realize it because thanks to the internet and the social networks, we know exactly what's happening at the opposite of the world.
It is an interesting truth that that technology, for all its things, has also allowed us to connect in real time. I do think revolution on the planet, for good or for ill, is faster and more available to people, and that sense that we are not alone.
Even if now we have this connection, this virtual connection, when you see what's happening in Hungary, in Poland, in Chechnya, in Russia, in Arabia, in many countries all over the world, we do know what's happening there, and we do know it almost in real time. But what do we do? Almost nothing. And that's maybe worse now because our responsibility is bigger than it was some decades ago, because we do know what's happening and we don't do much about that. And even if those people have the power of sharing what's happening to them, it doesn't change much.
The power of art connects us. The power of the technology makes it possible. The lens, the journey you took us on in this film, you know, around the world from those early days to now, you know, that is for me so empowering to know the level of struggle continues. Yes, and you're in a community of really kick-ass people who did a lot to make it possible that, you know, that you can be yourself sooner. You know?
Yeah, and actually that was exactly the point. There were three targets. I wanted three kind of people to watch the movie. First, it was for the young gay people, gay and LGBT plus people, because I was really I couldn't bear anymore listening to these people who told me, oh, we are bored with LGBT story. Oh, yeah, but that's so old. We don't care about that. And I really wanted to show them that if we could now, we could marry, we could adopt in some countries, not everywhere, of course, that it was easier, not easy, but easier to be trans people, for example. It was thanks to all these people and all these fights. I wanted also to make the movie for the elderly and to older LGBT people, and to say them thank you so much for all what you did. And it's so moving now to be able to tell that to you, and to some straight people as well, because for example the former Ministry of Justice in France, which is someone really important in France, which is in the movie, and which is totally straight, and he's the guy who fought to be able to depenalize. Do you say that?
Yeah.
The criminality for LGBT people, and it was very moving to be able to tell him thank you so much. And of course, the last category were the straight people, because they don't get why the pride, and why we do consider that yes, we can be proud. And even for myself, I've waited something like 30 years old. Yeah, I'm older than 30 years old. To to understand what it meant to be proud, because I did realize that yeah, when you grow up in a very homophobic, or just around people that you do consider as your enemies, yeah, you can be proud to be able to assume what you are, and that's not that easy. These three kind of people, I really wanted to tell them, here our history, do what you want to with that, but you can't ignore that it does exist, and that it has been so complicated for so many people, so complicated, and even many of them did die for it. So
Yes.
it was very important to show them, and to do remember all these lives that we lost.
It is a beautiful testimony to all of those things. I'm glad to hear that the articulation of who the piece is for. I of course want it to be required viewing for everyone on the planet, like the way you have represented so fairly and so beautifully the struggle, the politics, the maneuvering, to make human beings in the eyes of others. Like the work is not done, and your piece of it is like Rosetta Stone for how it happened around the world. It's really a beautiful crafting, and interweaving of an international call to justice. And in the same film festival, the Georgians, there's a film about Georgia, not the states, but the former Soviet Union, trying to have a gay pride parade, and the level of hate that shows up to constrain them.
I think that the 5 last minutes of the movie are really important, because it's a movie where everybody is talking about a backlash, about a possible backlash, and everybody in all the countries that we visited, everybody says, yeah, we really have to be careful. And we can see what happened in Brazil when Bolsonaro just arrived at the power, or Trump in America, and it can really change like that. And the most, maybe the most scary thing is to think that, okay, now it's done, and okay, now we can marry, that's fine. Okay, no, first we can marry in some countries, more and more, of course, but only a few, and everything can change for us, for trans people, for really for everybody. And so I really would like people to consider the end as a movie as the most important. And now I would love to make, and I'm trying to do it, but that's very complicated to find the money, to find time, to find the people to do it. But I really would love to make another movie about the situation right now for the people who don't live in safe places, for the people in all those countries where it's so dangerous to be LGBT now.
Yes, please keep storytelling, please keep doing it. How did you
I will.
find, it's come up in the conversations with the other winners from the festival, and certainly our story as a festival. We put the festival on our credit cards and gave it to the city and to each other, because we needed it. We needed to throw that level of go back to the movies party, so that we would know that movies were still a necessary part of who we are, and how we see, and how we learn, and how we transform the world, and what's possible inside ourselves. So that's what we did as a festival. We're raising money this year, but how did you make this film? How did the funding come? How did the people come together? demystify that for us.
Actually, at first, I found I've been producing and making documentaries for maybe something like 15 years now. And I found a small French TV, a really small TV, who told us, yeah, it could be interesting to make a documentary about that. But we didn't have much money. And of course, I knew at this time about Stonewall. I knew some things in France as well. But when I studied and when I discovered more and more what happened actually in the past, I thought, oh my God, but we can't tell that in 1 hour. It's impossible. Yeah. And even in the Spark lasts almost 2 hours, and even in 2 hours, that's so bad. Yeah, there are so many things that we had to cut, and I was in the editing room, and it was like, oh no, my God, we can't cut that. That's so important. Please, please, please. And so we had to find more and more money because the archives are very expensive. Of course, it was very expensive to travel. And we found another French TV. We found a Canadian TV as well. And we had some very strong and very important partnership. For example, with the GLBT Society in San Francisco, were so nice with us because I went to try to find some archives, and of course everything was so interesting. And after a while, I asked them, "Oh, how much will it cost?" And they showed me the amount, and I said, "Oh my God, okay, no, you don't know the French budgets. It's totally impossible." And they said, "Okay, we think that your movie is very important, so we can find a way to do it." And they were so nice with us. And that's the same thing for the chorus, the San Francisco Game and Chorus in Amsterdam, in Paris. They all did it for free because I thought it was very important to do it.
I'm glad that the film was met with generosity for the level of love that you bring back to us through it. And you have won awards around the world and been shown in dozens of places. So tell me how that feels. How does it feel? Did you know when you were picking what festivals to show at, did you have a dream for the film? That it would?
No, actually, when you make this kind of movie, you just want the movie to be seen, and that's the most important. And I knew that it would be broadcasted in Canada, but I didn't know if it would go elsewhere. And I really wanted for people to see it. But yeah, and for this prize in San Francisco, I'm so honored to have a prize in San Francisco. It's not the best documentary, but the best film, and it's the first edition. So wow, that's incredible.
Well, we are so again just totally honored that you applied to our festival and that we could lead with you. The heart and soul of the film is so beautiful, and that you won Best Film.
Yeah, but actually, I really, and that's not humility from me to say that, but I really don't think that I won anything. I think that this prize is really a global prize for all these LGBT people who fought for their rights, and I met some of them, and I told them. You would have been so happy when you were a teen, and it was so complicated for you to know that you would acquire this right. Many straight people who saw the movie saw the same thing. They thought, wow, we do have really respect for you LGBT people, because wow, we wouldn't be able to do that.
What is next? What's ahead? What do you want?
So I would love to make this other documentary, and I have a new play which is actually playing in Paris. So maybe you should come to Paris.
I should come to Paris.
Okay, and maybe you should come to Paris and learn French before, but
okay.
And now I would love to make, of course, some other series, not only about the LGBT community, but within and with LGBT people or LGBT community, of course. So okay, I don't have I have many projects. I do need some time.
You do. You're so busy, and it's so beautiful that you took time out to spend with me this morning.
No,
I'm
that's a
so
great
grateful.
pleasure.
Thank
That's
you.
a great pleasure, and I really hope that I will be able to come to San Francisco soon, and so we'll be we'll be able to have a drink and to share many things with you and all the people who are watching. And
Yes,
I
yes.
I really hope that.
Well, we must have lots of screenings of this particular piece and its brothers and sisters to come. This is a beautiful beginning for the San Francisco Queer Film Festival and for you. And we're so happy to
Good
have
luck with the
started.
festival, and congratulations to all the volunteers and all the people who worked on it, because that's so important to make this kind of festival. I thought that before the COVID-19, and after, I think that's even more important, because we do need contact, and we do need to be able to see the movies in the theaters and to meet people and to talk again and to drink together, and that's so important.
Yes,
So
yes.
thank you for all of this energy.
It's so it will be wonderful to welcome you back again and again and again with new
Yeah,
films
yeah,
and projects. And then
yeah. Please.
please keep sharing on our Facebook channel. Please let us know what you're up to. Please
Yeah,
let us
well,
help
sure.
celebrate the LGBTQ canon that you're helping to co-create with all of these other filmmakers.
A lot of messages on Facebook and Instagram to ask us after the prize, where can we watch the movie? And I know that in some movies, in some countries, that's possible. In the USA and Canada, I think at the moment it's not possible. But if it's tomorrow on Netflix or any platform, and I really hope it will go in a platform, we'll tell you, of course. Yeah.
I love that. Well, please let us amplify your message, and thank you for being a part of our festival. Thank you for winning. Thank you for being the lead, the story we had to tell. You did it all for us that first night. If there was one film for us to show this year, it was
Oh,
yours.
that's so nice.
Thank you so
You
much.
can't imagine what it makes me feel. And thank you to the audience and for the prize. Thank you to all the volunteers, to my friends in San Francisco. And thank you for your patience with my very strong accent, because I haven't talked English for months because of the COVID. And so that's very complicated to
Well,
be
you
able
got.
to have a good sentence. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My French is not so good, so I'm
Oh,
glad we
you do
can do
speak
it in
French?
English.
Please speak French.
I say oui.
Oh, okay, that's a good word in French, actually. You can do a lot of things with this word.
This is a good word. I love you. Thank you
Thank you
for
so much.
winning in our festival. I'll see you again. Thank you
Yeah,
so much,
thank you.
Ben.
Bye-bye,
Looking
Ben.
forward. Bye for now.